So yes, that was me about 2-3 weeks ago now. Um, when I heard the official news of our resumption, and trust me, nobody particularly feels elated about resuming. At least I don't. But in order for me to feel better about resumption, there were certain steps I took, which we are going to be talking about in this video. The first ever thing I did was shape my mind. And that brings me to the first thing you do whenever you are going on a new journey as a student: mindset shaping. Yes, just as your brain is important in, keeping the information, your mind is important, and your mind needs to be shaped and in the right shape to keep the information. That makes sense, right? Whatever. So, what I'm trying to say is to do anything at all, anything, your mind needs to be shaped and conducive to retain and to be able to take on whatever you are going to do. You want to become an A student, you want to become a good student at the very least. Your mind must agree with you that, okay, while becoming a good student. And how do you do this? Cancel negativity. Most of us have watched so much relatable content on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat. What other social media platforms do we have? To the point that our mind already sees us as, oh, we're that lazy girl that likes to sleep instead of, reading. Because we filled our mind with so much rubbish, and now we want to take away that rubbish, but it's already ingrained. So you need to have a mindset. How do you do this mindset shaping? Relate yourself to what you want to become. It's that easy. Yeah, it is. So yeah, the next thing I did was set goals. You might be wondering, set goals? Didn't shaping your mindset already mean you had a goal in mind? Yes, but you need to be specific about your goals. So I set SMART goals, not just any type of goal, but something that was smart. It was specific, it was measurable, it was achievable, it was relevant, and it was time bound. That is, there's a specific time frame for each and every one of my goals. Which brings me to a point we mentioned in our last video, which talked about breaking big tasks into smaller points. Yes, your main goal might take a year to achieve, but a session here is about 9 months or 8, I think. 13 weeks first semester, so I don't think that's what's 9 months. But that means my 1 year goal can actually be split into 2 semesters and probably a half and a full holiday too. So my goals were time bound within the frame of the semester I have, and I think they are pretty achievable too because they are specific and measurable. I can always tell when I'm a step closer or when I'm a step behind getting or achieving my goals. So as students, goal setting is like one of your main priorities, and it's one of the things that make you a student because you need to have something you're working towards to be able to work towards it. So another thing I set out to work on was my time management system. I think I've mentioned before that I'm an early bird, that is a morning person, and I noticed my time management system does not fully utilize my most productive hours and my most productive time of the day. And also I wanted to engage in more extracurriculars and engage in internships and research work while I can, as I'm in my sophomore year now. So I had to readjust my time management system, and this will lead me to actually bring in a very simple time management system which I call the color code. The color code is a time management system that helps you to arrange your tasks with colors, and each color on your calendar actually dictates whatever you have to do in that period of time. It could be reading, internships, extracurriculars, research, or maybe just hanging out with friends. So my calendar looks something like this as of now, but certain things will still be getting in there, like the internships and research work I talked about, once I've been able to get approval from my professors. While I was readjusting my time management system, I took note of some things. There are certain productivity vampires that have been sucking out my productivity and have actually been taking away time I could use for more productive activities for me. And I had to get rid of them. This includes social media. Actually, I was not even much of a social media person, but I discovered recently that YouTube has actually been taking a lot of my time. And the fun fact is, I wasn't doing really productive things anymore like that during the holiday because I was so much at ease and I had to have fun and the rest of it. I'm sure you guys understand what I'm trying to say, right? So I now diverged from using my YouTube to get skills and to get soft skills, hard skills, and practical skills, to now watch relatable content that really even isn't relatable to me, like comedy and the rest of it. So I had to readjust and get rid of this time wasters. Now, the final point I would like to make, and the final thing I did, was something I like to term plan to get there. Yeah, I already had a mindset and a mind map of where I was going. I had my goals set. I made sure to set my time right. I made sure to get rid of my time wasters. Now, all that is left is actually for me to plan to get there. I already got all the tools necessary. I already have a game plan, that is a price, and the next thing I need to do is actually know how I'm going to get that price. That is why you have to plan to get there. But it's important to note that doing the first 4 steps actually mean you have already started planning. But now, what exactly do I mean by plan to get there? You've already planned to become that, but how do you get there? Getting there requires you actually following through with what you've already planned. And I think that's the major planning you have to do at this point. Also, how exactly do you want to read? How exactly do you want to study? Now, like I said earlier, I want to start delving into some more active reading plans and active reading techniques, like using a flashcards. I used to use flashcards, but I just dropped it after high school, and now I'm thinking of going back to pick it. And this time I'm talking about the traditional, conventional one, and not the actually Anki card and whatever. I don't think that one works for me because I've tried it and I didn't even use it for more than 2 days. So I'm going back to the traditional flashcards. And also, I want to engage in more group readings. I want to engage in more research talks. I want to be more exposed about my field of study. So that'll be it for today, guys, and I hope you guys learned something and you can now set your own resumption right. For those of us that have already resumed, jail fighting, we can do it. Yes, you can see I've already started speaking Chinese, or Mandarin rather, and Korean language. It's because of what I was doing in the break. This was one of my time wasters, K-drama. So, like I said, I hope you guys do better this semester. I hope you get to that point you want to get to, spiritually, physically, health-wise, sport-wise, athleticism-wise, whatever-wise you want to achieve your goals in. So, actually, I'm rooting for you guys, and I hope you become the best.